Howdy folks, Lisa here. Welcome back to Everything is a Lie, or welcome if you're new. This would be a kind of strange way to start with the channel if it is. I just wanted to say 600 subscribers, thank you so much. It's been nagging at me, the lack of progress, purely my own fault. So it's been nagging at me that suddenly 600 subscribers would be another milestone that I didn't acknowledge, and that I didn't take the time to thank everyone and appreciate the fact that the channel still continued to grow, even slowly, despite my lack of input for the last few months while I'm just basically arguing internally with myself. So as a long-term hardened conspiracy theorist, I've learnt not to argue with a lot of people. But the internal arguments that go on just trying to get through life every day still happen at times. And you think you're moving forward and you're doing well. And sure enough, something comes up that says, like Dinton Castle did, and the Ammonites, however you call it, round and round, same thing again. So I did the same thing again. I'm going to read this to you for a little bit of inspiration, because this is exactly where we are now. And for us folks that have been hardened conspiracy theorists for a long time, I prefer critical thinkers and awakened ones, way showers, way seers, light workers. We are between two worlds, and the light is coming in. It's going to take a while to completely shed the dark though, but we're there. And I don't know if you can see that there's celebration on the other side there. So, and the crown, essential meanings between worlds, transitions, not being quite out of one situation and fully engaged in another, temporary blindness, no man's land. Yeah, I had a bit of that. Between the worlds is where you must let go of the tendency to make assumptions. This is a time when you are unable to see what is ahead. Cultivate curiosity and trust the process of change and growth. You are done learning the lessons of recent experiences. In this place between what was and what will be, in a state of making and unmaking and making again. What is essential now is to admit not knowing. There is great freedom and power to be unleashed. A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of your life. Within a divine matrix of consciousness greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, and decisions, the seeds that were planted in the past begin to take root, but what surfaces will probably not be what you expect. When you are between the worlds, you are invited to see, with the curious eyes of a child, glimpsing a rainbow for the first time. Do so, and you will not be disappointed. That's an interesting symbology of the rainbow, because that really is the symbol of the flat earthers, isn't it? So, with that said, where was I? Still in the same mindset. I sent letters about the credit cards. They responded. So now I have to do more letters, and the ones that I had already had out ready printed to go have to go in the bin, and we start again. Whether to even bother. I'm still undecided. I don't really actually think it affects me in any way. And as far as it's an offer and an acceptance, they keep offering me a debt, and I keep telling them that they already paid it by buying it. So I don't know. I'm thinking to get them off my record, because I do have a finance application to go in and get myself done and dusted with this house. The time has come. But I've also just gone around in a big circle there with the bank. So they had offered to do some of the work that the house needs to be saleable and to work with me. And I was suspicious of that. And it's cost me money. They've just added charges to my mortgage for things that I didn't authorise, and I'm about to lodge a complaint against them. So I felt like where I was trying to push ahead, I was having no success at all. And at work, I just fell into the same old pattern. So the Page of Swords wanted to have a chat. Hopefully you can see that clearly. I got the call to look at that card, particularly that card. And I was being instructed to look at everything going on. So there's all those light bulb moments, those things that you want to do, ideas, things that you're trying to ground into reality. There's me with the channel. Also, there's me upskilling, looking for the new knowledge, for the new direction and the new world that I'm going into. Meanwhile, the birds are just circling quite chaotically, really, and could upset the entire balance at any moment, while she treads the fine line on the blade of a sword between the two worlds. And that was a bit of a realization for me, because for me, I was seeing that's what I'm doing again. I'm treading that fine line between the number of hours I spend at work and working in hospitality, which can be very draining, dealing with people, especially as an empathic person. And they are some demanding customers. But the offer was there. The work is there. If you want it, take it. So I was mindful of this, and then I got sick. Spirit said you're going to have a few days in bed to think about that. And it was something that went around. My granddaughter had a stomach bug and stomach flu. I didn't realize until after I'd had it, and it was quite different to my normal stomach upset when I've eaten the wrong thing, something I'm allergic to, and I'll get a migraine and I'll be quite violently ill with that. This had a lot of pain associated with it, and whilst this was going on leading up to the full moon, I kind of went, oh well, be thankful of that forced clean out. You said you wanted to let go of anything that no longer served you. So there we go. That happened in a physical and a emotional way as well. And her mum got sick too. I didn't realise until I messaged and said that I'd been sick, that she had gotten sick too. And it went through a couple of other members of the family. It was interesting how it spared some people and took down quite a few others. So being that I've thrown away the whole virus thing over the last year, I had to think about that. Was it bacterial, or was it purely energetic, vibrational? I had watched her express some very strong emotions, and seeing my daughter deal with that, and that absolute patience and the willingness to just be with her and let her yell and scream and kick her feet and whatever to get it out. And I said to my daughter how patient she was and how difficult it must have been. And I thought back to how Mum would have done it and how I would have done it. I would have immediately tried to distract them. I would have even at some point chastised them for carrying on too long, even though I didn't like to stop my children having and expressing their emotions. I certainly wasn't that strong in it as my daughter is. And it was really quite beautiful and heartrending as well, because in myself, I wanted to stop her crying. Like, oh, Bubby, it's not that bad. Let's do something else. And that then jumped out to me, that immediate distraction. We can't have those strong emotions. We can't express them. We must suppress them and get on with something else. Just go and do something, and that was coming up. Like, I was ignoring my own needs again and my commitment to the channel. I'd said I was making a video and I have continued to make it. I haven't continued to finish it though. So that video is now turned into 2 parts, and as I said last time I was going to get it to you, I ended up with another 10 tabs open, but I have to do it justice. But from there, so we will move forward really quick. But I sat down and I did myself a reading once I was able to keep food down again and I had a little bit more strength. And I went, okay, come on, like, what am I doing? And the crux of the reading was, right in the center, I had the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands is basically carrying too many burdens. And you'll see there, I often call it the maybe I need a car moving forward card. She's trying to, the wands are lighting up the hill and she's carrying them. Let me get my fingers in the right place. She's carrying them here. So she's trying to light the way for others as she goes. This is how I'm reading it, purely intuitively. And she's carrying all these burdens, and by the look of the wind blasting her, she's struggling against adverse conditions as well. So when I looked at that, I went, yep, okay, so prioritize, put down some of the burdens, stop doing the things you don't need to be doing. There's a whole lot of messages, but what I was seeing was the placement of the card. Can you see that one? So, actually they were that way, to be clear. She was walking with all those burdens that she probably didn't need to be carrying straight towards the devil. And now, however you interpret the devil is fine with me, but I see it as we all have the dark and the light within us. It is up to us to choose which one we give our time and energy to. So, the devil, whilst he looks enticing with all that sparkly stuff in his hair, and he's pretty buff, he looks like, to me, I see him in water. If you see him in space, you're indoctrinated. He's not in space. His hair would be standing straight on end from some fake hairdo. The other way was, is he in a storm? So to me, you can see there's a swirling behind. If you take his hand, he's going to take you straight into the eye of the storm, or alternatively straight to the depths and leave you there, floundering, wondering what you did wrong. So there was me heading straight towards, nope. We had to stop that. And again, the round and round, same, Lisa. You said you weren't going to let money rule your life, but when you don't have a lot of it to go around, it's very easy to fall back into that, work hard, and everything will be okay. And it's not. I've just wasted a whole lot of time because I only ever still had enough money just for what I needed and still be a slave to it. Not creating the new future, not hiring the artist, the graphic artist I need to finish this damn shirt. So I had so much in place for the channel and for myself, you know, and I even had days where I stayed home and I didn't go sailing because I just didn't know what I was doing to myself. But I realized when I went back and examined some of the patterns from childhood of work hard, where that came from. The pleasure reward center kept coming up in kinesiology, and I'm like, yeah, I know I am hard on myself. I don't reward myself enough, especially lately when it's come to money, because it's all tied up in the house and I only have what I go out and earn. Again, where was it all coming from? And I equated back to when Dad offered me $50 bonus if I got all my exam right for maths at school. And that wasn't all that hard for me. It wasn't difficult, but it put more pressure on it by that. And when I only got 49 out of 50, that was the end mark for the test, I was concerned that he wouldn't give me the $50 or take me shopping. That was what it was, to go and spend $50 shopping. And Dad coughed up. He honoured it. 49 out of 50 was actually good enough for him. There's a lot there in that relationship. And I went shopping, and I got a new tennis racket to start tennis lessons, and I got a new dress, and something else, maybe a skateboard or something. But with the tennis racket was the last thing, and it went over budget, so I ended up getting more money. And because they were throwing in a box of balls as well. And I felt kind of pretty special, but I realized too how that played out in life. And it played out with, unless I've done the work, unless I've got the result, there will be no reward. And that plays out very much within my own life. I've been desperately aching for a massage. You know, I've been working my body harder than it's worked in quite a few years. And there is some payoff to that as well. I also realized I was self-defeating in that, telling myself if I lose more weight, and health was always the goal, never misconstrue that. I've done everything in regards to my weight with health as the ultimate goal, not vanity. But there I was worried about, well, if I lose more weight, you know, everything's just going to keep heading south and everywhere. And I was being self-defeating in regards to my health suddenly there. And I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all. I just suddenly had that moment of realization. You're thwarting yourself with that attitude. Stop worrying about, because you didn't worry about your body when you were overweight. You just had to accept that it was ill health, it was inflammation, and you had to deal with it. And now when you throw out this whole virus thing and how and why we are sick, the going back to learning those lessons of the childhood probably had far more impact on my health and my weight loss than my actual health, by just basically living well, with food, with some exercise, with good water, with sun. Not enough fun though. And a lot of self-beration and self-punishment, like crazy. What am I doing? Here to shed the light for others, and I'm following the devil into the dark again. So that's me. What else did I want to talk about before I go? So Buckland Hill is coming out in 2 parts. I will have to interrupt the schedule with another video that I've basically been told to make. This is your skills, your learning, and address it for the people that aren't getting the message or aren't understanding it. So I will be making a video about a virus and not the one that we're talking about currently in the news. And I will finish Buckland Hill, and you can hold me to that. And right up next is Hostel Milligan. So that was just a bonus because it captured my imagination, and I realised something dodgy might have been going on there, but it explained a lot of buildings that I see, like, oh, there's 2 buildings in there, or there's something I can't explain gone on. So that's an interesting case study. The Hostel Milligan with the silent S. And that's all I have to give you today, folks. Much love. Thank you to my new subscribers. Farewell to the few that did disappear. And that's fine. We do what we have to do. Much love. Thanks for your time today. see you at Hostel Milligan and Buckland Hill, and when we get nitty gritty with the virus. Love, peeps. Bye.